Hello everyone, this is Minimoustachio and this is my Plague Kripath Zor video. This ends up being a 100% red crit melee weapon and is the strongest melee weapon I've ever used, with my highest crit being 2.79 million. So the weapon head is the Plague Kripath, the grip is the Plague Kripath, and then the link is the Vargeet J2. Originally, I just used those two plague pieces because I had them and I knew that the Kripath was strong. And then, you know, I just threw in the link because, hey, it has a highest crit chance. Because I was going for crit with this weapon anyway. But when you use the 29% crit chance after it's gilded with Blood Rush, and then my Riven itself has crit chance and crit chance to slide. The crit chance to slide isn't what I wanted, but I just high rolled the Riven, so I kind of just take it how it is. But even without slide attack, this 100% will red crit every single hit, and it does crazy damage. The ideal Riven roll that I would have liked would have been crit chance, crit damage, and range. I don't have crit damage on here yet, but if I did, obviously the crits would be so much higher and so much stronger. So the Kripath does 81 base damage with 29.1 as puncture, 11.4 as impact, 17.3 as slash, and 23.2 as viral. So originally when I made this, I thought it was going to always at least hit viral, sort of like how the Legion always procs toxic or gas, and it doesn't, which sucks, because it would be super OP if it did, because, you know, condition overload and shit. But even though it doesn't do that, it's got a 14% status chance, which is still actually really good. I did put on maybe one or two mods. I think it's just one mod for status to increase it. I did that at a loss of 2 seconds on a combo count. So it does proc the status effects, I'd say somewhat often. It's a good thing because it procs them enough that you can kind of get a little bit of use out of Exodia Force. It's not the best arcane, but you know, it's a bit of extra damage. So the weapon is a polearm with a 1.08 base attack speed, 29% crit chance, a 2.2 multiplier, and all these stats together just, I mean, in my opinion, it's probably the strongest melee weapon in the game. I mean, I have yet to see a stronger melee weapon. I'm sure there's one out there, but I don't know. I haven't really seen it yet. Okay, so for the build for this, now there is two builds. Obviously this is the Riven build. So this is a 5 former weapon. If you don't have the Riven, I reckon it'd probably take 4 former. So this is Primed Pressure Point, Primed Reach, Primed Fury, Primed Fever Strike. These ones usually go on every melee weapon, with maybe the exception of Primed Reach. And it's Organ Shatter for crit damage and Drifting Contact instead of body count, just because it gives some extra status chance. And this is the Riven. Plus channeling damage, plus crit chance, and crit chance for slides, and then obviously negative damage to corpus. So this isn't what I want on the Riven. To get the 100% red crit, all you need is probably just the crit chance, and it's probably doable if you had max sacrificial steel. That could maybe go in place of it, since max sacrificial steel, off the top of my head, I think it's 110%, or maybe it's 110% with the bonus, or I think it's more with the bonus. But that's more crit chance than I've got. So build number 2 is pretty much the same thing, but instead of the Riven, you have Gladiator Might, which will put you up to a 5.5 multiplier. You can see here that crit chance does go down a bit, but maybe if you had this mod maxed and could... Actually, if you had this mod maxed, you could probably just... Because you wouldn't use this former, since Drifting Contact is only a 5 cost mod, so it's incredibly cheap. You'd former a different slot, probably one of these, honestly, and maybe you could fit it in. Yeah, I'd assume you could easily fit that in. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this build video was good, and I hope it makes you want to make the Kripath, since it's an incredibly fun weapon to use. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to subscribe, like, all that bullshit that everyone tells you to do but you don't actually do. I'll see everyone on my next video.